What's up, guys? Vince right here, and welcome to Vince Talk, where I talk about and ramble and pretty much talk about the news and what's happening in this world we're living in, and also just stuff updating you guys. And this is going to be a very important one because I want to update, and there's going to be some stuff that most of you should be aware. I know I'm supposed to be making a separate video of updating and also anything happening with the reads and videos, because what I do is tend to actually get some, copyright, unfortunately, because a lot of times that happened to me before. And here I am thinking, like, at that time, like, oh, I'm just gonna do reads. Like, I don't understand being a reading channel and reading, comics and stuff like that, or even like manga, or how any other videos that I've seen that actually get away with it and not get, battle with copyright and pretty much YouTube's law and all of that. But unfortunately, that's what happened to me. Pretty much, some of you or most of you know that I've been terminated from YouTube before. So, and also that's why I want to address is right now I'm battling with a copyright thing. That's why I've been so down lately. There's this copyright strike. I'm not sure if it's gone right now as you're hearing this. It could be, because I did message Webtoon about this, and it's a copyright strike on one of the series of like Win on a Dry Branch. And it's a royal fantasy romance series that I was planning to come back, and there was only like a good few of you asking for me to come back. Well, unfortunately, when I do get copyright or get strike from a certain series, I can't do that anymore. It will be a different story, like pretty much, or same story, but even worse if I actually talk about one of the bigger series, like Boyfriends and Suit to Armor and stuff like that. If they get copyright strikes, chances are that I will not put them back on Webtoon anymore. And I'm trying to understand why I got a copyright strike from this particular video. It was the beginning of Win on a Dry Branch. I'm not sure what it is, and pretty much believe like one of the people working the staff in Webtoon, as was messaging them, because I messaged them whenever something goes wrong within my videos or something involving Webtoon. I usually ask them for help, and that's what I did. Right now I'm waiting, and it's already been 3 days, so I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's really taking this long, pretty much. And the one that actually striked it, and it was usually some other companies that strike it. This time it's from Webtoon. And I would like to know, like, why is it that Webtoon strike it when all my other videos being from Webtoon and following all the orders, like no fast passes, no nothing, no, early pass, no daily pass, recordings or something like that. Why is it that I got striked from this particular, read from this video of just me doing the Let's Reads you see right now in one of the videos? So that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to find out why I got strike from this video, and pretty much it's a long progress. Now I don't right now I'm pretty much working on actually there's like a due date to actually get everything that when the strike is out. I only wish that I'm cool like them like removing the video. Them striking my channel is a different story, because it's like you're destroying my channel. You're literally destroying my channel by giving me a first strike. And if I get two strikes, this channel, the videos, the boyfriend vids, everything you see in this channel, particularly Vince Rider 2.0, will be gone. And I have to move on to a Vince Rider 3.0. So it's a serious process, and I'm trying to understand like how to do it. I don't know how any other Webtoon creators like, ASL, Byzantine, and also other top Webtoon creators like Dr. Bonehead gets away, with, and of course they're like sponsored by Webtoon. And that's what I've been meaning to want. I want to be sponsored by Webtoon, and I want to have full support of them, so I don't have to worry about my channel being terminated, being in trouble, literally having my whole entire work disappear off the internet. It can be so easy, and I'm such an easy target. The fact that you be thinking that I'm like, a Webtoon influencer, ambassador. I am an influencer. I'm future, and I'm pretty much, I guess, in ways like, analogy, like internship of a job, and pretty much I'm, really trying to gather myself up to become somewhat part of the business and part of, the workspace of this, of Webtoon, basically. And that I want to really know how do I win this battle, basically. but yeah, so that's what I'm dealing with. It's a lot of stress because right now I'm dealing with school, which also adds to another amounts of stress. Right now, I do all my classes like on Discord, which is interesting. But yeah, but pretty much, I wish I could say that's the only problem going on right now. But unfortunately, there's also another thing going on within my channel. Well, actually, not my channel. It's my device. You see, I'm in the progress of getting a new phone, and it hasn't been that easy. Gosh, nothing hasn't been easy for me in my life, really. If it was, then that video of me doing the last boyfriend apps would be actually a more different energy because of course you noticed that I wasn't happy when doing it, and pretty much there's a reason why, because I said in the description I had a rough week, and because I was battling all this, and pretty much my screen recorder, something's going on with it, as you know. Well, for those that don't know, I screen record. I'm not using any software on the computer, but only on my phone itself. I just put a mic and everything. I use an iPhone, and they implemented a screen recorder device, and that's what I use to record all these Let's Reads that you see right now. And that's what I use. And right now, there's a problem with it. I'm pretty sure if you see this video, it's only a miracle that it actually went out and actually you discovered it, because, that's because why it's pretty much, I guess, miracle or luck. I don't know what's going on with anything at all. Like I'm supposed to like take a break and actually not make videos, but I know that boyfriend's app was important. I know making that compilation was important. I know a lot of these videos means a lot to you, and that's what I like to do, especially all the love that I get. I just can't say no to that. So yeah, there's so much stress going on within this channel. I honestly just wish there wasn't. I wish I had I took a break from that. I wish things would go right, but no, nothing does. Nothing in my life goes right. I don't understand what is happening. Here I am, literally in the edge of being homeless, and I'm dealing with this. So I hope that, Webtoon really fixes somehow. I don't know. Am I okay? I wish I was. Anyways, let's get into some talk points as I put here. As I pretty much didn't talk, I noticed that I don't really put a lot of VinzTalks this year, in this beginning year. Because, it's only been like a few weeks and all that. And time moves fast, as, I can see, as they say when they get older. But yeah, that 4 collab that I did with that podcast, the first VinzTalk podcast I did of the beginning of the year, which I was pretty happy about. And, I did a good job actually doing with it with many of the, especially with my boy Stefan and also with my cousins. That was fun to do. My cousins, I will say this, yes, it was comments from a while ago, and I just happened to give it to them and ask them like, hey, can we do a re-recording? And they're like, yeah, sure. So that's all they did. I wish we can do a podcast, but of course we didn't really have enough time for that, because I only had like like a few like days of that flight, when I was flying there, and pretty much I came back, and yeah, here I am wishing that it was longer now. But yeah, it was fun. And also I did the podcast with my boy Stefan on my birthday. Shout out to everyone that actually greeted my birthday. And it was, me and Stefan in a car, because again, I don't have my own home. But we did actually do a podcast in the car, and pretty much, we did the old school way, which is something we used to do like a couple times before. But yeah, that's us doing it like, the podcast. Like we were planning to actually do a podcast on Zoom. So that's going to be something to experiment, because I do want to, interview other creators and stuff like that via Zoom. That's like something in the future that is, but I still have to see what, I have to fix the certain problems before they get worse, before I get through that. Everything right now is set like in certain motion where it can go either way, which is sad. That's kind of like reminding me of my time where, I was in court losing my house. But, that's just, that's life, I guess. I don't understand, and a lot of times it's said that I don't really have enough time to really sympathize or anything. It's almost like you got to keep things moving and moving. And that's what I kind of feel like. I remember this interview from this lady from Skid Row that actually was suffering, and it was a channel that were interviewing a bunch of people in Skid Row. And this lady was not focused on like, despite her being emotional, I forget what video it was. It was like they would interview like, sketchy people from, and people that are suffering, that are, that they just find in the streets, and they just interview them, and how do they end up there, and how their life goes and stuff like that, and sometimes famous people that are actually got out the streets, and some that are still in there. And this one lady actually just talks about like, and the guy says like, how do you get through this? And the lady was like, you just gotta keep pushing on. And I felt that because at first I was like, what? Like, come on, it has to be more than that. But now I understand because when you're being interviewed, or pretty much for me, in instance, like being broadcasted, a lot of times I can't really think of that because I'm too busy thinking about what to talk about during these few minutes in this podcast as you're listening to for your engagement, I guess. And it's always been in my mind to actually really share that in a much more deeper way. A lot of things in this channel happens to be from a very deep settlement of where I come from and sharing you what I mean. But yeah, other than that, pretty much that's what's going on with that. But yeah, that Ford collab was fun. I wish to do that again. Other than that, yeah, there's a lot of things also that I happen to miss a good amount, but pretty much I'm just gonna get through it. I'm have a couple of topics here and there. There could be a lot that I missed, but I'm just sharing stuff from like last week and this week. So yeah, pretty much my class just started, which just happens to give me more. It happens to be more busy as it is, and that's because my class is now like it's on Discord. Like out of all the places, it just has to be on Discord. Now, first on Zoom, now on Discord, and it's starting to advance that way. I guess it's cool, but man, I am so new to Discord. I don't really use Discord, but I'm new to it. But as I used it, it made sense why many people would use Discord, and I actually find myself really liking using it. Actually, pretty much I don't know what to do for Discord for like this channel particularly, maybe to interview or actually interview you guys, being you part of. And I think that's when I was like, I think I said something like, oh, interviewing you guys and what's going on. And pretty much someone said like, oh, you should have a Discord then. And I always wonder like, what? Oh, why not just Zoom, the simple stuff. And now I understand because of Discord, and I think I understand why that so many channels, most channels, especially ones that are not about gaming, because I think Discord was created just for gaming, that they use Discord as a device to actually talk to many of their fans. And I can see why, because that is the best way to actually engage them when on the spot. So yeah, Discord coming soon. I do have one, but right now I'm busy using it for my class, so I'm gonna think of a way to actually separate that. Like I still have to create my own Twitch. Like that's something that I'm actually thinking of doing, but a lot of these ideas are just coming soon to the future. Anyways, moving on. Also, like game talk stuff that I want to actually bring up. Just because I was planning to talk about a bunch of news. I mean, there's so many people busy talking about like the whole M&M's like diversity thing, even though that doesn't make sense. Like they're just all chocolate candy, and this whatever this news about M&M's, I don't like what huh? If they want to really make it diversified with M&M's, they could have just like what, like vegan M&Ms or gummy M&Ms, then that would be Skittles. Never mind. But yeah, that's why I've been hearing. Also, NFTs still a thing in the news that people are just talking about. So many celebrities are just going for NFTs. They're going for the same Bape Ape. I don't understand what's happening. Anyways, but yeah, speaking of NFTs, there's this whole like discussion about play to earn, which has been popularized because of just NFTs in general. And I looked at it, and it seemed like somewhat interesting. Earning money because you get to play to earn, and it's because it's through metaverse. And yes, metaverse, play to earn, NFTs. You see where I'm going with this. But I don't know. To me, it looks interesting. I gotta look it up, because once I hit a certain point in my life where I'm really struggling, and I mean struggling, because I could easily be on that, because it depends on where my channel stands or anything. But if that happens, then I have to actually move into like stuff, whatever the internet throws, like play to earn or whatever, which I hope it doesn't happen. Out of that I would just get a job. But yeah, I don't know, I don't want to think about that. But what I do want to think about is certain games that I want to play that I did play, because I think for this last week or like 2 weeks ago, I forget, time is fast, 2 weeks ago or like last week in general, is I played a couple of games. I played Green Hell, which is like this, survival forest game. It's not that good, all because I need to find better way to play it. I need to see a better tutorial, because man, that game is hard. Your ways of survival in the forest, you would think that would be like, especially then again, it's in a video game, so they put in ways where you have to follow the orders in that game to actually survive. But also, I've been actually playing this one game a lot, and it's Witcher 3. So Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt on Switch. It was on sale, and man, it is so worth it. it is such a long game. And it's so nice seeing so many stories from Geralt, from Riverdale. Like it seems like this is one of the best kind of like Skyrim style games. Even though I can't help but thinking of Skyrim whenever I played Witcher, and I always keep thinking like, man, this is sort of like itching that Skyrim itch, and I think that's why it's popular, at least to me. And there's many reasons why it's popular. The Game of Thrones ish kind of feel of it, of the east, like ancient Europe, and also seeing like the worlds and different islands and mysteries. And it can be sometimes a horror game depending on where you go, especially the dark secrets behind the different places in the game, and different creatures, and has a Dark Souls feel of just battling different bosses, because it's a hard game. It's really hard. You can pretty much, it takes so many tries to actually battle certain bosses in that game, and sometimes you end up in those boss battles, and then you get in this pothole of just like trying to actually battle them and your best to survive. But man, it's such a good game. I really do dig it. And yeah, it's a very long one. It's very time consuming, I have to say. But yeah, I did also miss out the conversation of Microsoft spending like what's almost $70 billion on Activision Blizzard, and also King Games, which the ones that make Candy Crush, which happens to be, that is big amounts. I believe most of that money has to be from King because of Candy Crush, or maybe Blizzard, or because of Kodak. But yeah, that is so much. So there's pretty much so many things going on. Then again, I'm not really a professional gaming podcast, but I've been hearing so many other podcasts gaming wise, like kind of funny, and also some other casts like Law and Pierce, that talk about this, and pretty much there's like a lot of big changes that Microsoft might put. And gosh, there's a part of me that I wish I had an Xbox of my own. Not only like first was like the whole Halo Infinite, like I want that, and the Game Pass. The Game Pass will be another thing because of Activision, Blizzard, and King. Like it's gonna be interesting how they're gonna implement that through Game Pass, and how is that gonna develop? Because I really do want to see that. Man, that's gonna be like a full trip. And I wish I had Game Pass. I wish I had Xbox. Unfortunately, I didn't grow up as an Xbox person. I never owned an Xbox in the first place. But yeah, that's just that's big news. That's a lot of money financially. That is insane. And I really think about this, right? I'm gonna look at the internet real quick and really search this up. See what is because I believe that, what is it, 70 billion? What does it takes for like, I was like looking up like pretty much, and I forget the numbers, but I believe that it's cheaper to actually land somebody in the moon than actually buying a freaking big like tree company at the same time, which is insane money, as I was looking up. I could be wrong, but even though like somewhere in the trillions that it could be in space travel, but you never know, like, because that is just way amount. When money is that big, it makes sense why it's in the news. It makes sense. But Microsoft spending went on a huge freaking like company haul, buying companies and just eating them up. Like that is insane. So yeah, that's what I saw in the news. Also another thing, Animation Talk. The house review that is going to be coming up soon. That is something that I actually been wanting to do. I saw the Netflix animation. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And also I need to get actually, I need to really, I haven't really watched the new Miraculous Ladybugs episodes yet. Those interviews are coming soon. I just kind of been busy again. And not interviews, reviews, sorry. My mind's in different places because someone's using the bathroom. But next to the room I'm living in, if you can picture that, because it's like just a wall here, and it just throws off my my focus right now. There's a lot of things that are throwing off my focus. I'm trying to keep it together. Like, Lord knows I'm trying. But yeah, I saw this interview of from Anime Star. Shout out to him. Did a interview with a Refrainbow. And man, that was such a good interview. And also, if you look in the chat, I was chatting it up with none other than Asel Byzantine. And I was talking to him like the whole time of the interview. And man, it was like, whoa, we actually get along. And I told him a bunch of like, different, cool things about me. Tell him about my age, being 24, and also like also tell him like, other facts about me. He was so surprised. Like, I think so many were so surprised, especially nowadays, pretty much. A lot of you are surprised that I'm not black. And I say that because, well, obviously that's true. If you see me, You definitely, if I told you I was black, it would be offensive because I don't look remotely nothing. I mean, I think there's some a part of me that sort of identifies, but I'm just not. Sorry. But man, he was so surprised that I told him like, oh, I thought you were black, like, pretty much saying in the chat. And I was like, nah, no, I'm just Italian and Asian. That's it. That's pretty much my ancestry right there. Italiano, Filipino. That's me because that's pretty much based of what my ancestry and stuff like that. It's just who I am. Okay, I don't choose my race. But yeah, and also I think in the podcast there was this one part of the podcast, and I have to really say that because I know pretty much my boy Stefan is black, and he's on to me whenever like, because of course for a long time, like back in my childhood and stuff like that, I was a huge, like, I will say it, I will expose myself. Are you ready? I was a huge black wannabe. I think most kids, and especially in high school that are not black, were the same as me. I was taking my pants and also bumming the headphones and trying to grow my hair like an afro, which looked ridiculous. It looked like a freaking like Italian meatball on my head, that's for sure. But it's that's just what I expressed and what I shared with the chat with Acel, and I think heard his name correctly. Thanks to Anime Star. It's Acel, not Axel. I tend to say Axel, but it's Acel. And I've been calling it Axel for so long. My goodness. Man, so yeah, that was a good chat up in the chat with him at the interview because pretty much I was supposed to talk to for Rainbow, but they were busy doing interviews with one another. I saw also like Pookie in there, Pookie the creator of Down to Earth that many of you are still waiting for, and also the boyfriend of Pookie, which being the guy that started Two Stupid Idiots. That's literally what it's called, the channel that they made. So yeah, I saw him there, and I saw a bunch of other people as well. But other than that, yeah, that's all I pretty much had. Anyways, yeah, I just gotta go through whatever this whole copyright thing. I really wish it goes away. I really wish I didn't deal with this. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, I wish Webtoon would tell me. I try to ask the staff, and I try to ask for a reason why. They were even asking me like, "Hey, why is it that your video got taken down?" And I'm like, I don't know. I want to know why. I would love to know. I would love to know from Webtoon, why did you strike my channel? Can you like not can I wish they would just tell me, hey Vince, can you just remove your channel? Just DM me. Like if you want my certain videos to remove, just let me know. Don't strike my channel. That's so many fans that are gonna lose so much because of like what a video I made, and I happen to have a little inch of a slip up, and it's one of those things that really scared me, that really prevents me to actually become a YouTuber, to actually get you the videos you guys want. Is because of that, because of YouTube, because of these strict rules or whatever. Not strict rules, but just the confusion. Anyways, that's all I have to share. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks you guys for hearing. I recommend hearing this podcast wise, but I guess most of you already did that. And yeah, I'll see you when I see you. Peace.